We are Heritage Living. My name is Doug Justin. I'm Senior Living and Development. But we are Heritage Ministries. We're a CCRC lookalike. It's a New York thing. If you're in New York, you understand. But we do assisted living, independent living, and we also have skilled nursing. We also offer management services to smaller yet similar organizations that find it difficult to survive in today's economy. So it's one of the things we do. But I'm here to talk about the mall store and why we ever had a mall store. Our CFO came to us one time, and we were talking about different ways that we could market our housing and things like that. We knew housing was one of the things we had to do. We had to fill units, and these are the traditional ways you would market it. He said, how about a mall store? And we're thinking, you know what? We know he came from Denver, but he left before they started legalizing that, so we weren't sure where he was going with it. Reactions, of course, were a little, woo, mall store. But we started thinking about it seriously, and it really did make a lot of sense. It was going to be easy to get to. The original cost, whenever we looked at it, was actually the price of one quarter-page ad every month in our local paper. That's what it was going to cost us to operate the store. We were going to be able to put up a nice big sign. People were going to walk by it. Just the price of that was worth it. One of my favorites was Zig Ziglar. And in dealing with filling units, you got to get people to trust you. So Zig said, you know, if people like you, they'll listen, but if they trust you, they're going to do business with you. So we knew we had to get people to trust us. How to do that? Relationships. Original thought was people were going to bring their grandparents and their parents down. They were going to go shopping, and they could leave their folks with us, and we would just kind of talk to them and build a nice relationship. But what we found is that people weren't bringing their senior citizens down with them. What we found was they were driving themselves down, and they were coming in about 7:30 in the morning, and they were walking for 13 hours, different people, not the same. But they were going through there walking. And so this was a great group to meet with. So we decided we were going to form a mall club, a mall walkers club. So we had the mall walkers club come in. And we set up a little virtual tour of Chautauqua County where we're living. And so they would pick up little perks as they would go through. And this lasted about 6 months or so. But we also knew that it had to be a destination. If it was going to be really viable for us, people had to come there for a purpose. So we looked at it and thought that education and information was probably going to be the key. And it was going to be free information. We weren't going to charge anybody to get in there. So we were going to build these relationships. So we asked other groups around, would you be interested in partnering with us at our mall store? And they were lining up at the door. I mean, this is only a partial list of the different organizations that have formed relationships with us. And these are some of the classes that we now teach. And this is, again, just a partial list. But the response has just been incredible in getting people in. We have, you'll see in the next picture here, we've got the Tai Chi class going on. With diabetes, Tai Chi, balance programs and things like that, we've got 2 and 3 month waiting lists that we just can't even fill. So we really had a predicament. It was getting so popular, we had to work on something else. But it also, when we had people in there, we had access to talking to them. So we were able to promote our home care services. We were able to promote our rehab and therapy, our CCRC without walls. And it also really assisted us in working with housing sales. It's a great place. We had restaurants all around us. People would just kind of walk in, you know, I've seen you around. I just kind of want to get some information, what's going on. People were very, very comfortable coming in to visit with us and also talking to us about their parents. But it also gave us a great office space. We needed office space anyway, so we moved our marketing department down there. People were more than willing to come in and tell you what they think about your product or what they need. And so we really looked at it that way. We also have 800 employees. We're always hiring. This was a great opportunity because people were always stopping in saying, hey, I know what you do, but are you looking for people to work? So we actually hired a full-time healthcare recruiter who's going to be moving in this month. Was it worth it all? In the first month, we knew we were probably not going to have enough space. And by the end of the 9th month, we'd already rented the space next to us and renovated it. And so we are moving and expanding right into the space next door, which gave us a huge option. You can see this is our store right now. So we're still able to maintain all of our office space on the one side, but the other side is all open area right now. And we've got, we're also going to be moving our CNA classes over there. And people love the idea. Politicians loved it. This is a great place for them to come down and meet people. The mall, Simon Properties, they loved it. They couldn't wait for us to get this thing open because it was just a great property for them, and they loved it. So that's it. Thank you.